Hello, Dalton Golf and Country Club. Will Perkins here, and we are continuing in week 7 of our interview series with management staff here at the club. I get to turn the tables a little bit, and I've got some hard-hitting questions for Nancy Rupert, our membership director. So she has been the interviewer, and now she is the interviewee. So
Yes.
Are you ready
I hope
for these
so.
tough questions? Okay. So, Nancy, you were not born here in Georgia.
No,
Where
I was
did you
not.
grow up?
So I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. I spent majority of my life in Ohio growing up. A small town called Lebanon, Ohio. It's about 25, 30 miles north of Cincinnati. So I was born and raised right there.
Okay. All right. So what brought you to the Dalton area?
Well, after I finished college, I decided my degree was in education. I decided that I was not going to continue a career in education. So my dad was actually a flooring retailer his entire life.
Okay.
So up there, and my brothers now run that business. It's been there for almost 100 years,
Oh, wow.
actually. So flooring was in my blood.
Okay.
And I actually applied with Mohawk Industries and went through their sales training program.
Okay.
And their sales training program was a 12-week training course where they actually brought you to Dalton, Georgia.
Okay.
And so I had to go through that sales training class. And when I did that and came to Georgia, I loved the area.
Okay. What really stood out to you about the area? What did you enjoy?
It reminds me a lot of home.
Okay.
Cincinnati is very hilly, much like Kentucky, Tennessee area.
Yep.
And so the landscape reminded me of that, but the town itself, I came from a very small town, and very close community, and so it reminded me a lot of home. So, and I had always wanted to come south.
Yeah.
So Mohawk brought me here.
Okay. Well, terrific. So how did you and your husband Eric meet?
We actually met through Mohawk.
Okay.
Yes. When I was going through that sales training class, he was actually interviewing. He was a sales rep in Vegas with Mohawk,
Okay.
and was interviewing for a corporate position in their product development department. And so we met while he was here interviewing.
Oh,
We
wow.
actually met at the Dalton Depot.
What are the odds of that? So he's based out of Vegas, and he's here for the interview, and then you're down here doing training.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
It
that.
was meant. It was. Yeah.
That is awesome. I did not know that. Okay. So obviously y'all got married and started a family. Why did y'all decide to join Dalton Golf and Country Club?
The truth is, I asked for a pool. We went through the whole process of they came and quoted and everything else, and our good friend who happened to be Eric's boss at the time was Rick King, who is a very long time standing member here at the country club. And he told Eric, you know, the club is running a special right now. This is back in 2014. And so he came to me and said, you know, instead of spending $30,000 on a pool,
Right.
why don't we join the club, and they have a big pool and we don't have to take care of it.
That is
so
true.
it worked out in our favor.
Okay, terrific. So you've touched a little bit about your professional background with Mohawk. So at what point, you know, when the club was developing a membership and marketing director position, what appealed to you about that, and why did you decide to try to take on this position?
So in my professional career with Mohawk, I started on the sales side, and then they brought me internally, corporately, to the marketing side.
Okay.
And I did that for 10 years. So we had joined in here in 2014, and then in 2017, I was actually on maternity leave with my daughter.
Uh-huh.
And the general manager, Scott Stewart, at the time came up to me and said, the board has put me in charge of bringing on a membership marketing person. I know you handle marketing. Can you help me write a job description, help me figure out what this entails?
Right.
So he knew I was on maternity leave. He knew I needed something to get out of the house and do.
Right.
So I literally sat down with him, baby in arms, nursing the whole bit. I mean, I was 3 weeks postpartum. So
Oh, wow.
sat down and And about 2 weeks later, he kind of put it all together and said, read this over and tell me what you think, if this sounds like a good thing for the club. And I told him it would be great for whoever wants it. And he said, how about you? Would you like it? And, you know, coming off of having a third baby and coming into a very big corporate career, I had a lot of travel.
Right.
I was based out of Calhoun. This position allowed me to have a little bit more flexibility.
Right.
My kids were getting, my two older ones were getting older and into sports and all of that fun stuff. So it was a life change in terms of financiability, but
Right.
it was very good for us. It's allowed me to be a very, very much more involved mom.
That's terrific. So what has been your favorite part about this position at the club?
The interaction with people. I am such a social butterfly type person, so I'm assuming that comes across when you interact with me.
Yeah, I can tell you it does.
So just the constant interaction with members, and yes, we have our normal regular members, but I also see different members every day here. So it's nice having that interaction. I love walking members through, or not members, let me rephrase that, prospective members, walking them through, showing them the club, you know, giving them tours, talking about all the fun things and the value of what a membership is here.
Right.
It's very enjoyable to me. You know, when we joined the club, I grew up a country clubber, I grew up a golfer, so I understood the aspect of what it meant to be a member when we joined. And then I took a job of selling a club for all the reasons we joined, and I love this club.
Right.
So I just love the job itself.
Right. Okay. So what motivates you personally and professionally?
My family,
Yeah.
a lot of the times. Personally, my motivation is really my kids.
Right.
That's my world right now.
Absolutely.
And then professionally, you know, because I love this, I genuinely love this club.
Right.
So I want to see it flourish. I want to see it grow. I want to see it do better. So that's, you know, the members
Right.
in this club push me.
Now, you kind of touched on it, but you are quite the golfer. How did you get involved in playing? And then how was it, because you competed on a collegiate level?
I did.
Yes.
Yes.
So how was that?
So my parents were both golfers. Like I said, I grew up in a country club. My parents have been members at a club up there for over 50 years now.
Wow.
So that whole aspect has been in my life from day one. The moment I was 2 or 3 years old, I could swing a golf club. They started. I remember some of my earliest memories literally running down a fairway barefoot and just teeing up a ball and hitting it and just keeping up with my parents.
I'll let Russ know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I was one of those kids that would hang out on the golf course and then hang out at the pool and go back on
Right.
the golf course. I was one of the country club kids.
Right.
Until I hit middle school. And my dad was a very, very competitive, if you're not doing it this way,
Right.
and he pushed a little too hard. I hung it up.
Oh, okay.
When I went to high school, my dad made a deal with me that if I pushed hard enough and I made the golf team in high school, I would never have to work in high school. He would buy me my first car, all of that. So we made a deal, and I made varsity my freshman
Wow.
year, and did my high school career. And then he made me another deal. If you work your butt off and you get a golf scholarship, when you graduate college, you'll get a brand new car. You're going to save me so much money.
Right.
And so I did. I worked my butt off. I got an NCAA Division I full scholarship to Cleveland State University in Cleveland, Ohio.
That is awesome.
In the Horizon League with Wright State, Butler University. I'm trying to think of who all was in that league at the time, but
Right.
yeah, it was great. It was challenging.
Does.
It made me realize I didn't want to go the professional route.
Right.
The work that came along with it was a lot.
Absolutely.
You know, it was a lot. You know, it's 4 hours every day and
Right.
tournaments every weekend with 36 holes every day
Wow.
with a sack lunch. So, but it's a game I still love.
Mhm.
It's a game I absolutely love to play. I love coming out here with my kids, that kind of thing.
So when you're not working here at the club,
Mhm.
what do you like to do with your free time?
I run my kids.
Yeah.
Yes. Outside of running my children, because I run so much, I'm a relaxer. So I'm wanting to go sit at a pool or just chill at home, watch Netflix in my sweatpants on my couch.
Right. So
when I
tell us.
have time to be on the golf course, I can. But right now, my life just doesn't allow that to be
Right.
my relaxation.
So when you talk about running your kids, your kids, all three of them are now heavily involved in various athletics,
Yes.
various sports. So tell us a little bit about that and how they got, because they're all in different things,
They
how they
are.
got involved in those particular interests.
Yes, my husband and I are taxi drivers right now. My oldest one, Brock, is he's a national tumbler.
Okay.
So he is on a tumbling team with Culper Athletics here in town. So we are traveling quite a bit. He's in a gym 5 days a week, and we travel quite a bit on weekends to big competitions and all of that.
Yeah.
And that's his only sport, thank goodness. My middle son, Hudson, is my all-around athlete. He loves anything and everything that is a full contact sport.
Okay.
So he does football, lacrosse, he's done baseball, wrestling, he's tried it all. His two main sports right now are football and lacrosse.
Okay.
So we are, running everywhere.
I bet.
And then my daughter Scarlett is just now 6, so she has just had her first big year of first softball season. She had her first year of cheerleading,
Right.
and she also does tumbling and gymnastics as well. So we'll see what road she paves for herself. But yes, we are just coming out of this spring. We were 3 kids with 5 sports.
Okay.
So it's when I say I'm a taxi driver, I'm
Yeah.
a taxi driver right
Yes.
now.
So having grown up with some parents who kind of push, I imagine you have a very different kind of mindset than what you grew up with the kids. So
Yes
it's
and no.
all, yeah,
Because I appreciated my parents pushing me
right,
until it got too much, obviously.
Right.
So I help push my kids into guiding them in the things that they love.
Right.
But I don't push them to do it unless they want to do it.
right,
But I don't let them quit either. You know, when Brock was 4 and we signed him up for soccer, his first thing, and he ran out the first game and said, "Can I sit down?" Or like, "This is not your sport, but you're going to finish the season."
right,
I don't push them to play golf. I bring them out here. I let them hit on the driving range. We might take them out to play 9 holes, but I don't force them to do it. You know,
Right.
it's once they ask me, "I want to do this. I want to play this,"
right.
then I'll give them the means to do so.
Awesome. So to wrap up, tell us something that we may not know about Nancy Rupert.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
That is a hard question. It's probably the hardest one I asked everybody else in this interview series too. Something you don't know about me. I try to be very active in my church.
Right.
We attend Cross Point Church. It's very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Try to be involved. I'm looking at getting involved in their choir. So I do sing.
Right.
That could be something that nobody knows about me. I've sang my entire life. Come from a very musical family. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Nancy. We appreciate it. We appreciate the membership tuning in. Find out a little bit more about our management staff throughout this interview process. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. I think we've got some exciting interviews coming up with some non-membership and non-management staff individuals coming up. So stay tuned next week for that.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys. Have a good
All
day.
right.